want to thank you for clicking on here. It's just another pretty day out in New Mexico. We're getting a little bit closer to our ride coming up in Atlanta, Georgia on April the 15th. We just hope that anybody that's around the area that can come out and join us. We're looking at starting at the old Brave Stadium at around 10 o'clock in the morning on April the 15th. We're planning on riding right around the Capitol, where there's already a rally that is that's in the works, that's being organized, and we're just hoping to go out to Atlanta and stand up strong, stand up for our Second Amendment rights, stand up for border security, stand up for the life issues going on in the world today, and also to stand up strong for our president. You know, out here in New Mexico recently, if y'all been kind of staying up with the politics in New Mexico, you know that we passed some Second Amendment sanctuary county resolutions, which on the county level, we took a stand against legislation coming out of Santa Fe that are infringing on our Second Amendment rights, and through the power of the county sheriff, through the legislative board of our county commissioners, we pass these resolutions to protect our Second Amendment rights, to keep those rights from being infringed upon. Well, you know, it's just through those resolutions is a time whenever the counties stand up. The counties stand up to represent the people, because our government was founded by our founding fathers as by the people for the people. And through those resolutions, we're beginning to have a direct representation for the people. But here recently, just a day or a few days ago, the Attorney General of New Mexico stood up and said that in a intimidating type of a way, intimidated our sheriffs and said that they're going to have to enforce this legislation that our state legislators passed. And you know, this could be the start of something much bigger, because as I speak right now, I speak openly and publicly, and I will speak directly to our Attorney General, Hector Balderas. If anybody out there that watches this video has a line on Hector Balderas, I would ask you to please share this video with him as I speak directly to him. And I'm telling him, you know, you need to back off a little bit, because this issue isn't just about our county sheriffs. This issue is about the people, and the people are speaking up, and the county sheriffs are directly representing the people. So through this red flag gun law, you know, if it's just somebody's just accused of possibly being rebellious or a threat to the state or the federal government, that the state or the feds can come in and confiscate our guns. And I tell you what, Mr. Balderas, I am one of many that you can have my guns when you pry my cold dead fingers off of them. And I, just like so many other Americans, are not going to give up our guns. We might give up the bullets coming out of those guns first, but we're not going to give up our guns. And I'm speaking to you from the platform of the county commissioner in Otero County, one of the counties that passed this resolution. So I'd like to tell you, Mr. Balderas, that you need to back off, as well as our governor needs to back off, because we're not going to go down without a fight. We're not looking for a fight, but we're ready for one if y'all want to bring one down here. So I just tell you that we're going to draw a hard line in the sand off of this one. We're going to do it through the power of our county sheriff, and we're going to do it through the power of our locally elected board of county commissioners. And we're going to tell you that we're going to keep our guns. We're not going to abide by the liberal legislation coming out of Santa Fe. If the people of Bernalillo County, Santa Fe County, Doña County, if they want to accept the legislation coming out of Santa Fe, and if their board of county commissioners and their county sheriff wants to abide by these laws coming out of Santa Fe, then they're full well able to do it. But as far as Otero County, as far as Eddy County, as far as Lee County, as far as Union County, as far as Catron County, you need to keep your nose out of our counties. You should be focusing on how you can better support our counties, how you can better support our counties to legislate themselves, because we don't need you legislating over us. We've had enough. So again, I, like so many more of us, we're peaceful, We don't want to fight. We don't want to fight with you, but by God goodness, we will fight with you if it comes right down to it. You know, there's a saying that is kind of common out here in more of our country people, and that saying goes, "Don't let your alligator mouth overload your tadpole ass." So I'd like to tell you that, Mr. Balderas. I'd like to tell the governor, Michelle Lujan Grisham, that. Don't be treading on us. Don't be treading on our constitutional rights. Our county sheriffs, our county commission, they're upholding an oath that you took as well, and that's to uphold the Constitution of the United States. I did not take an oath whenever I took office on the Board of County Commissioners to uphold the legislation coming out of the state of New Mexico. Tony Mace did not take an oath to uphold the legislation coming out of the state of New Mexico. David Black did not take an oath to uphold the legislation coming out of the Roundhouse. We took an oath to uphold the Constitution of the United States. So you, Mr. Balderas, you, Madam Governor, Lujan Grisham, if y'all want to go rogue and you want to start doing things that are outside of the Constitution of the United States of America, and you can get other counties to adopt the legislation that goes against the Constitution, well, then have at it. More power to you. But don't be coming out here into our counties and don't be threatening our county sheriffs with some type of legislation that we're not going to accept. So again, we're not looking for a fight, but by goodness, you can bet your boots we're ready for one if one comes our way. So I'll probably go on some list right now, and y'all probably mark me as being some radical right-wing crazy man, but I tell you what, I'm not the only one in the state of New Mexico. I'm not the only one in the United States of America. It's time that the people stand up. It's time that the people band together. And again, if the populated areas want to live underneath the socialist system, if the populated areas want to give up their guns, well, Lord have mercy on them. But we're not going to do it out here. We're not going to abide. The Governor Lujan Grisham, that conference call that you had with us the other day that I sat in and listened to, the way I understand conference calls is you can usually have back and forth communication. You don't just get on the phone and put it on speakerphone and have somebody talk down to you and talk about how the people can't be threatening any kind of public figures. I knew where you were going on that, and I wonder why she's harping so bad on this threatening public figures. And then I see up there in Aztec, the city council, where they didn't adapt the sanctuary city resolution. And, you know, maybe next election the people of Aztec will come around and realize that they have a bunch of left-wing socialists sitting on their city council up there, and they'll elect somebody in there that's going to truly represent the people. Because our country is founded by the people, for the people. The power needs to come back to the people. And we here at Cowboys for Trump, that's what we're standing on. That's what our president believes in. He believes in border security. He believes in the best interest of the American people. And thank God we have him in office, because if we had Hillary Clinton in office right now, the whole United States would probably look much like New Mexico does right now. But there's a lot of us here in New Mexico that are sick of the way things are going. We need to focus more on developing our natural resources, on creating businesses that aren't choked out by regulation. We need to have some freedom again in our country, in our state. And we can only hope and pray that in a year and a half's time, our legislators swing back to the right, and in about 3.5 years' time, the rest of our state swings back, including the seat of the office of governor. So that's our position. We're looking at, again, Atlanta, Georgia, April 15th, April 25th, Las Cruces, New Mexico, Doñana County. That's where we're going to go, and we're going to make a big stand. We're going to make a stand like this state hasn't seen in a long time. And you guys that are listening to this, you guys that don't really understand what we're doing, what I'm doing, why I'm making these videos, why are you putting all this stuff up? It's because we're trying to make a stand. We're trying to build a platform. We're trying to build a platform to speak off of, because you know what? Just going about your day hadn't been doing it for the last 30, 40 years. That's why our state and our country is in the shape that it's in, because people have just been putting up with it. People, the people may not agree with it. The people may not think it's right, but they just put up with it because that's just the way it always goes. Well, you know what? It ain't going that way any further. It's time to take a stand. So I know that Atlanta, Georgia is a long ways for a lot of my friends around here in New Mexico, but Las Cruces, New Mexico is a whole lot closer, and we need to make a statement in that city here coming up in Las Cruces here on April the 25th, like this Southwest New Mexico hasn't seen in a long time. So mark it on your calendar. Take the day off. I know it's a midweek, but we need to do these deals whenever everybody's in their county offices, everybody's in the roundhouses, everybody's in their legislating positions, because they need to see the fabric of our state and our nation rise. And it's been great, and I know that it's going to only get better. So thank you for clicking on. Thank you for following us at Cowboys for Trump. Please share this video on a friend's page. Please share it on Hector Balderas' page, or Michelle Lujan's page, or Steinborn's page over there, or Small's page, or Mark Moore's page, or a Republican legislator from Bernalillo County that should be a Democrat. Share it on their pages. It's time to rattle their cages. It's time to stand up, and it's time to get her done. Las Cruces, New Mexico, April 25th. Don't miss it. It's going to be good. We got great speakers, and we're going to keep getting her done. So thank you very much again for clicking in. And by God's grace and through strong leadership in the White House, America will be great again. One more thing before I finish. I just keep rambling. I was hoping and praying that our president would shut the border down, and was kind of calling out, shut it down. But you know what? Our president is fed a lot more information than each one of us is. Our president is solid and steady as can be. And whatever decisions the president makes regarding our border, I'll stand behind him 110%, because I know that he's got America's best interest at heart. So, Mr. President, we love you. We're behind you, and we got your back through this, because we know that you see America the same. We the people, by the people, for the people. Let's stand up. Let's get her done. And America will be great again. Thanks again for clicking in, and I'll try to sign off. Adios.